strings instruments that we'll be playing together. And so much of what happens in your music classroom has to do with how you have it organized. So before you actually go into the classroom, you want to spend a lot of time getting ready. So let's start. Hold on just a second. I'm going to push this down so you can see better. Okay, there we go. I'm going to start over here, which is, if I can get there, hold on. These are the metal percussion instruments, okay? And when you introduce these to kids, you want to make sure that you do it in the right way. So when you hold a triangle, you can't hold on to the triangle. You want to hold on to what is not, what is being held freely. These come in all different sizes, but they're not tuned, so they're untuned. These are your friend. Triangles are wonderful. I don't have a tambourine, but I have a stick tambourine. That's considered a metal because of the jangles. Cabasa, this is one that's actually for children's hands. If you play the cabasa, you can see this is super small, but it's great for children. My slide whistle, that's great for teaching children how to sing and matching pitch and working with them, getting their voices up into their head voice. Of course, you're going to have a lot of these. The finger cymbals are super important, that they learn how to play. You don't play them like this, but you hold each one in each hand, and then you get a beautiful ringing sound. The wooden instruments are over here. I don't have a lot here. There's many more in the music building, FA 145. But just so that you can get an idea, we have claves. It's important that they hold the clave in their hand. It's like a little cup. So it sounds, if you play it this way, you don't get any sound. Every music classroom has rhythm sticks. I just brought a couple of them with me. There's a lot of things you can do with rhythm sticks. You can do this. Rest position, when you're actually giving them the rhythms. Play position, rest position, play position. It's something you work on. Train whistles are great for leading songs around the room. The wood block, of course, is super important. Again, you don't want to hold it. You want to make sure that you're cupped and you're leaving the sound chamber open. It's much stronger sound. Maracas, there's male and female. Don't just hand them some maracas. It's a lower and a higher pitch. And that's how they're written to be played. Liros, come in different sizes. They have these two little finger things. You put the children's fingers in there. This is not a real scraper. I couldn't find it when I went over there. But you scrape it, or I have my famous frog one that you guys got to know already. So, in general, the wooden instruments are either scraped or hit, and that's word lingo. Then the drums are over here. You can see I have one conga, I have some bongos. The most important instrument, which we've already introduced, is the hand drum. The main thing to remember with the hand drum is that you're going to hold it with your weaker hand. So if they're left-handed, they're going to hold it with their right hand. I'm right-handed, so I'm holding with my left hand. You're going to slide down, okay, with your thumb. And when you come back up, you let your fingers come up. So with the children, you can work on all different kinds of meter using your hands in different ways. And that takes a while in the ORF training to learn how to do that and pass it on to kids. In terms of the different kinds of strings, I don't have a lot of the ones that we have over. I don't have an auto harp. I don't have a cue harp. I don't have any of those things, but I do have a guitar and I have my ukulele. You guys seem to all have ukuleles, which is absolutely awesome because you may walk into a music classroom that has 20 of these or 25, so that each student is learning how to play the ukulele. This is what happens a lot of times in middle school. They learn how to play the ukulele. Over here, give me a second. So over here, you can see I have xylophones. You've already been introduced to, this is the alto xylophone, right? I don't have the bass here. The bass is the most important instrument. There's a bass xylophone. There's also a bass metallophone, and they are sort of the heart of the Orff ensemble. So we have an alto xylophone and an alto metallophone. The metallophone is played for the longer holding notes. And the alto is shorter moving. Oftentimes the soprano, the one on the floor there, is going to get some more interesting melodic parts. We're actually hearing the melody. Also we have the glockenspiels. There's a soprano glockenspiel and an alto glockenspiel. The thing about the glockenspiel is again, it's a melodic device, but because it rings so much, it comes in for short periods of time. So we call it color, adding color. So you might even have clusters of, like G and A coming in the parts. The alto has oftentimes a melodic role. So you might teach them how to play, Twinkle Twinkle. They can hear it. It's in the same range that they're singing in, so it's easy for them to match the pitch. We've already been introduced to the step bells. Step bells are great because of the visualization, so that they can actually see going up the scale and coming down. I have my recorders here, but you all know about the recorders. So that is a very, very quick introduction. Just one last thing. Music classrooms always should have visual aids, okay? So if you're like me, you might want to make your own. So like here's, this says sing, clap, slide, stomp, snap. We make up patterns by throwing these on the floor with different dynamics. That's a forte. So that's like playing dice, and then you play the piece or the pattern using those two things. Things like this are really fun for kids. Scarves, of course. Some of you are doing form. Hold up the green scarf, hold up the yellow scarf, A, B, C, and have them wave it. There's all kinds of things you can do with that. I introduced you to my Beanie Babies. I have a huge collection of those. Children love to be introduced to songs with little animals. And then lastly, I always introduce the orchestra instrument by instrument through, the brass family, the trombone, blah, blah, the violin family. Here they are. These are homemade. Yes, in the music classroom, I hope that you don't have to make your own. I hope you have some really good cards, but you might, like I did. I had to make my own. Also, I introduce different things in the music, like, articulation, all different kinds of parts of musical vocabulary, one by one using cards, and then having them hold them up. When do you hear the cadence? Hold it up. When do you hear the modulation? Hold it up. So these kinds of things are wonderful. And I'm going to just stop there because